Plenty of reasons to cheer since things have been looking so good. Today, Brett Myers gets the start as the Astros try to sweep the Pittsburgh Pirates. Next on Fox Sports Houston. From Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today, it's Game 3 of this weekend series. The Astros are going for a sweep of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros are rolling, trying for their first series sweep of the year, JD.
Yeah, what a week it was, and trying to get the sweep here this afternoon. Let's turn the calendar back and show you a 6-in-1 week. How did it happen? Mostly good pitching, timely hitting, scoring 4 runs per game. Obviously better than they had been early on, but still it's been the pitching that's really been pushing this club forward. The starters have been outstanding. The bullpen very good. During this stretch, they played 4 one-run games, and they won them all. So great work for the starters. Lindstrom on a roll, 6 out of 6 in saves the past week, and a better vibe around this ball club for sure.
Brett Myers goes to the mound today against the Buccos, and we'll see if the Bats continue to do what they started last night with a 13-hit attack, biggest of the season for the Astros. Carlos Lee's back in the lineup today, hitting third. They go for the sweep next. We have had gorgeous weather this week, and it continues here for this Sunday afternoon finale of this 3-game series. The Astros going for their first 3-game sweep of the season. They have won 3 consecutive series now. They worked their way back to 7-10, and they are tied with the Pirates, 3 games behind the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's the lineup for John Russell's visiting Buccos, who move on to Milwaukee next. It's Aki Iwamura leading it off at second base. Andrew McCutcheon's in center field. Lasting's Millage returns to the 3 spot in the order in left field. Garrett Jones plays right field with Ryan Bowman the catcher. Jeff Clement at first base. Andy LaRoche at third. Charlie Morton is the pitcher batting 8th. Then it's Bobby Crosby batting 9th at shortstop. Brett Myers takes over for today's game for the Astros, looking for his first win in an Astro uniform in start number 4 of the year. Has a very good career ERA against Pittsburgh of 2.64. Romero goes for the first pitch and smacks it into right field for a leadoff single for the 194 hitter.
Our starting pitcher brought to you by Suzuki. Brett Myers, as Brownie mentioned, making his 4th start. There are his lifetime numbers against the Pirates, 3 and 4 with a 264. He's pitched well so far, going 6 or more innings in all 3 of his starts. Lifetime 73 and 64 for the right-hander.
They'll face the speedy Andrew McCutcheon. McCutcheon starts the day at 254 hitter. Shortening up and taking ball 1. Tom Halley and the crew chief is the home plate umpire for this game. McCutcheon hit 3rd last night. That was the first time in his career he had done that. He went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Third base coach is Tony Beasley. Pirates lost last night 5-2. It's a 1-ball 1-strike count. Myers making his first outing against the Buccos since the 08 season. I'd like to get McCutcheon and move on to Millage. Those are those 3 starts of at least 6 innings you talked about.
And 2 no decisions, and then the loss is actually the game he pitched the best. Just a 1 earned run against St. Louis.
Another swing, and not really a great swing from McCutcheon. Takes the count to 1-2.
Well, if the Pirates started their scouting report, they'll find out that Brett Myers has been relying heavily on the breaking stuff in these early games. So should not be sitting on fastball.
McCutcheon looks at one just off the plate for a 2-2 count. McCutcheon has started every game now in center field for the Pirates so far this year. He is a big time talent. Explosive speed. It is one picture perfect day today. McCutcheon's just 23. Fly ball goes toward Michael Bourne. He now breaks in center field. Still coming and reaching down. He snags it, throws to first. And Berkman takes the throw for a double play. Iwamura didn't know if that catch would be made or not. And he tried to scamper back to first. And Bourne gets his 4th outfield assist already.
Every day, Michael Bourne does something to excite you, whether it's at the plate or in the field. He's just having a remarkable. This is a tough ball to judge off the bat, so a little hesitation before the break, but he comes in a hurry. And Iwamura, that's just a tough read for a base runner, because if he doesn't go far enough, he's at risk of being forced at second base. Bourne able to make the throw and maintain his balance to unload in a hurry.
Lasting's Millage gets a first pitch curve, and it's strike 1 for Myers to a 242 hitter, and Millage with 6 runs batted in.
Matter of fact, I got home last night, and my wife didn't watch the game, but she said to me, "What did Michael Bourne do?" What did he do? And I said, he threw a guy out at home plate.
Well, you're right. He's done that a lot. 4 outfield assists already for the Gold Glover. And then there's the .321 batting average and the .406 on base percentage, and 9 runs scored, and all the havoc he creates. 5 of 6 in steals. He's been an impact guy.
He's a rainmaker, Brownie.
Yeah, that kind of rain is welcome. Tap to second base. Temperature in for the slow roller. Tosses out Millage, and it's no runs, 1 hit. Nobody left. No score. Brad Mills today. Michael Bourne leads it off. He's in center field on a 4-game hitting streak. It's Jeff Keppinger at second base. Carlos Lee, after a day off last night, returns to the number 3 spot in the lineup in left field. It's Lance Berkman at first base. Hunter Pence in right field. Pedro Feliz at third base. J.R. Tolles the catcher. Tommy Manzella at shortstop. And Brett Myers is the Houston pitcher.
Suzuki starting pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Charlie Morton. He came over from the Atlanta Braves in the Nate McLeod trade last year. He has been roughed up this year. 19 earned runs and 10 in the third innings in his 3 starts.
Michael Bourne takes the first pitch. It's strike 1 for Charlie Morton. 321 for Michael. No homers, 2 runs batted in. Corner infielders pinch in, and the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Michael's on a 4-game hitting streak with 5 hits. 2 for 7 in this series. There's the way the infielders play him. That's a foul tip, and it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count for Morton, who relies on the 4-seam fastball. His first start of the year at Arizona, April 9th, he struck out 5 of the first 6 batters, but then he wound up being torched for 8 earned runs and 3 1/3. Rolled out to second. Mora handles out number 1 for him. Jeff Keppinger comes up now. Keppinger at 327, 6 points higher than Michael Bourne at game time. Those are the 3 starts for Morton so far. 0-3 with a 16.55 ERA.
An inning plus last time out against Milwaukee. Allowed 6 runs, 5 earned. Of course, just about everybody who took the mound for the Pirates in that series got thumped.
Good numbers for Keppinger, who puts it ball 1. He has a 400 on base average. And he's been the second baseman most of the time this season. That one sinks a little bit, and it's 2 balls, no strikes with Carlos Lee on deck. Morton has walked 4 in 10 1/3 innings. The Pirates would certainly welcome 6 innings from him after their injured starter, Chris Jakubowskis, went 2/3 of an inning last night. By the way, he is expected to be out of the hospital and rejoining the Pirates for this game today. They travel on to Milwaukee after the game. That's very good news.
And they put him on the disabled list. Contusion, concussion. But apparently nothing beyond that.
Made a couple player moves for this game today. Called up a couple of pitchers, Brian Bass, Brian Burris. So they do have some fresh arms. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the way their bullpen has been hit hard with a lot of appearances and many innings lately. Would be welcome today for John Russell. Keppinger 3 for 8 in this series with an RBI. Bouncer to the left side. LaRoche cuts over. 2 outs. Morton was drafted by the Braves in 2002 in the 3rd round. The Pirates got him in a trade last June, along with a couple of other younger players, for Nate McLeod. Charlie's from Flemington, New Jersey. He's 0-2 against the Astros with a 7.88 ERA in 3 starts. Carlos Lee, 143 with 3 runs batted in, returning to the lineup after his first game out of the starting lineup this year.
Here's our Fox tracker. It's brought to you by Gexa, and we'll show you the pitch location. That one was on the corner, but called the ball. That one was in the strike zone, also called the ball.
It's 2-0. Tom Hallian decides whether it's a ball or a strike. Fly ball goes to right field. Garrett Jones moves in for it. 4-1-2-3 first for Morton. No score.
And funds for breast cancer research May 3rd to the 9th. The festivities include April 29th with the Brunch and Bazaar at Minute Maid Park and Saturday, May 8th with the inaugural Wine and Cheese Night. Check out all the great events throughout the week and buy tickets at Astros.com tonight, guys.
Thanks, Patty. W-H-I-N-E in cheese or W-I-N-E in cheese?
There is no W-H-I-ing in baseball.
Oh. First pitch for Brett Myers is strike one to Garrett Jones. Second inning underway with a .224 hitter at the plate. 4 homers, a dozen runs batted in for Jones. He leads the team in runs batted in and in walks with 14. A long ball Friday night off Roy Oswalt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And not hitting for a high average, but with all those walks, it's pretty good on base percentage. 370?
Yes.
Yeah.
448 slugging, not bad either for Jones. Speaking of Roy Oswalt, who gave up that Jones home run Friday night, we were hearing a rather harrowing tale about that tornado that hit his parents' home in Ware, Mississippi. Evidently, Roy's mother was in the home and a bookcase fell on her, according to that report. And she's all right. 3 balls and a strike. There's a story about Roy's father's Bible, I believe, was in another room of the house, and it wound up at his mother's feet when all was said and done and all the damage had been caused. That's just real praise that his family made it through. Roy went back to Mississippi yesterday. Line shot after last night. Anything like that's going to be scary today. That was about kneecap high and on through into center field for a Jones single.
Pirates with a leadoff single in the first. He raced on that double play started by Michael Bourne. Brett holds true to form. He'll give up some hits early and battle through traffic. That's kind of been what's happened with him so far. He's been solid and could have won all 3 of his starts based on his performance. That first one a little wobbly, gave up a bunch of hits, but he hung in there. Last time out through 50 pitches through the first 2 innings, but managed to give the Astros 7 innings.
Ryan Domet did the catching Friday night. There's ball 1 to Domet. Last night it was Jason Jaramillo. Domet got a pinch hit in last night's game. He's 2 for 5 in this series. Domet's on a 4-game hitting streak now. A very important man offensively for the Buccos. He loops a line drive to right field. Hunter Pence charging, keeps it close as it bounces up off his midsection, then throws perfectly into third. Back-to-back hits here have the Pirates working in the second inning with Jeff Clement coming up.
Solid line drive single here. A little bit of a mishandle by Hunter, but no harm, no advance by Jones. This is a guy that scares me. The way he swung the bat the other day, boy.
Yeah. He had some powerful swings
Friday night.
Clement has hit safely in his last 3 starts, batting average 143, but he hit home run number 2 in that game Friday night. Hit it to left field. Comes with a nice pedigree, a slugger in high school at Iowa and then on to Southern Cal. First round draft choice of Seattle, converted catcher. She's been on base for him here, and the count's 1-0 to Clement. Clement has made 11 starts at first base prior to this game. He looks at that one, and that evens the count of 1-1. He had never started at first base on opening day until this year, so that version of catcher may enable the Pirates to keep his bat strong and lengthen his career. Fouls it back.
I don't know what kind of a player Clement is defensively. The Pirates with Domet have got a real good offensive catcher. Jaramillo can handle the position pretty well too, so there's some depth there for Pittsburgh behind the plate. It's kind of ironic to say this is a guy that scares me, hitting $143, but if you watched the game Friday night and saw his swings,
yep,
you know what I'm talking about.
Well, he hit 21 homers in AAA last year between Tacoma and Indianapolis. Drove in 90 runs. He's 26. Pirates might have dealt for him at just the right time, although they gave up one of the top shortstops in baseball, Jack Wilson, in that deal for Clement and shortstop Ronnie Cedeno. The Buccos have fallen upon hard times this week. They've lost 5 in a row. Swept by Milwaukee and overpowered in that series 36-1 by those collective scores.
Just about every move the Pirates have made in the past few years has all been about saving money, dumping veteran players who are well paid or about to be well paid, pick up youngsters and prospects and the journeymen that aren't making a whole lot of money. So they unloaded some cash when they moved Jack Wilson.
Crowd getting into it, trying to give Brett Myers a little support here on a 2-2 pitch coming up to Clement. Former President Bush just walked in, so that might have been behind that chair.
I think that was it, Brandon.
Oh, yeah. Well, that won't hurt Brett any to hear that reassurance.
And then you have the other group of the fans that when they hear applause, they just start clapping. They're not sure why, but well, if people are clapping, I'm jumping on board.
Well, he deserves that kind of a tribute and often comes to games early in the season. And he and his wife, Barbara, of course, will be heading for the East Coast here in a few weeks. Usually go in late May, I believe.
This is Bush. Very dapper.
Nice looking hat. Pickoff play at second and safe. Manzella had to reach behind and grab the throw after he had headed to his left. He had to reach back to his right. If that had been a perfect throw, they might have picked off Jones.
There was daylight. Manzella snuck in behind him. If the throw's on the bag, they might have him. That was very close when the tag came up late.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Clement. Breaking pitch, got him on strike. Wow. He started that at a really nice level, so it dived down. First strikeout for Myers. What a time for him.
And that might explain the 143 batting average. Maybe Clement just one of those guys who sits dead red and can't handle the good breaking stuff.
Andy LaRoche, brother of Adam, who's now with Arizona, comes up with 1 out and 2 on. Andy was out for a week with back spasms. There's ball 1. Returned to the lineup in last night's game, and he had 2 hits and 4 at-bats. 286 against righties for Andy this year.
Got off to a miserable start last year. He booed in Pittsburgh when we saw them for the first time. Struggling defensively, wasn't hitting the lick, and then the second half turned it around a little bit. It's a LaRoche family trait.
Boy, you know it.
Brother Adam, look at his first half, second half splits throughout his career. It's crazy. It's because they grew up with a major league dad, and they heard that old cliche over and over again. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and they took it to heart.
Father Dave LaRoche, longtime major league relief pitcher. Lined into left center field. Jones turns third and comes home. Michael Bourne's throw goes to third base. Now no throw back to second, and it's 1-0 Pittsburgh. Andy LaRoche with an RBI single makes it 1-0, getting his second run batted in.
The slider stays in the zone for him, and solid line drive single. Good play there by Bourne, realizing he didn't have a shot at home. Throwing into third base, and they almost caught Domet being a little too aggressive with the turn. Myers last time out, as has been the case in each of his starts, really relying heavily on the breaking pitches, but I think his game turned around when he started to work his fastball a little bit more. I mean, he established early he's got the breaking ball, and then the hitter starts to look for it, and you got to counter, you got to come with the heater.
Pitcher Morton around a bunt. He pushes it foul. You and Jeff Bagwell were talking about the pitcher batting eighth here last night. It was interesting to hear what you guys had to say about that. And Brad Mills was asked about it. He said, well, he would be open to it. And he'd heard different viewpoints on it, but has never been compelled to use that himself. This is what I don't like about it. Pitcher batting eighth comes up here with 2 men on, 1 out. Berkman charging, and
if he can get his bunt down, then he'll give Crosby a chance to drive in 2 runs.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way to predict what the outcome of any given inning is going to be, when the pitcher's going to come up, if he's going to come up in a situation to drive in runs or not drive in runs.
He misses that bunt drive. And that's a strikeout. Well, number 2.
It's just not real good execution there by Charlie Morton. He may have been intimidated a little bit the way Lance was coming hard from first base, but that's just ugly technique there. He's too far away from home plate, and then he jabs at the ball.
He had a chance to really help himself to a lead of bigger than 1-0. Now Crosby tries to pick him up. 235 for Crosby, 1 homer, driven in 3 in 17 at bats for Bobby. He played first base last night, looking at ball 1, and he was 1 for 4 in that game. I just don't see why you don't put your worst hitter in the number 9 spot. Now, if the pitcher is a good hitter, he might be a better hitter than the number 9 guy. That's a little different. If it's Carlos Zambrano, okay, now we're talking.
I think the managers that do it, they don't do it based on the pitcher's hitting ability. They do it on other facets of their lineup. And the case here is they feel like McCutchen has got some power, and he's hitting second, so that they like the idea of having a couple bona fide hitters ahead of him when the lineup turns over. They want to provide RBI opportunities for him. That's kind of what La Russa was doing when he had Big Mac.
Shot into left field. Tony Beasley will put up a stop sign, and the bases are loaded. And Domet, the catcher, was not sent home on the 2-out single. A lot of times is an automatic send, but Domet is not fast enough to make that run look good.
No, Tony Beasley last night got a man thrown out of home plate with 1 out. But here, the left fielder's picking up the ball. Carlos has got the ball in his hands before Domet gets to third base. And the irony is, had he sent him, he would have scored.
True. Now Iwamura, the leadoff man, comes up with his bases loaded 2-out situation. He singled a ride on the first pitch of the game by Myers. Little dribbler goes up the line. Myers over, flips to first, and he's out of further trouble. The Pirates get a run on 4 hits. They strand 3, and they lead it 1-0. September 11th, off Charlie Morton. And found a nice resting place out in right center field for a Berkman home run. The Astros really rocked Morton a couple times last year.
Looked like an 83-mile-an-hour split finger pitch there that he picked on.
Okay. You're good with that stuff. Now Lance Berkman takes ball one. At 93, down and in.
He gets pretty good sink on his fastball.
That's 4 for 5 against this pitcher with a homer. He's driven in 4. That pitch said hit me, but he fouled it back. But it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball. In that Berkman home run game here last September 11th, Morton actually pitched well, though he gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. All the way, and it's 1 and 2, and they're loving this Lance Berkman. They got in the upper deck. Souvenirs. Pirates starting pitchers are 3 and 10 with an ERA of 8.02. They would welcome another Morton start like that one he had here last September. Berkman to left field. This has got a knock on it. They're getting up in the Landry's Crawford boxes. And Berkman hits number 1. It's a 1-1 game as Lance goes deep for the first time in 2010. And that ties him with Reggie Smith for the number 5 spot on the all-time list for home runs by a switch hitter, 314.
Timeout does not appear to have affected Berkman at all. Fastball running away from him, and he just stays on it. That time the ball had run, but no sink, stayed on plane.
Strike to Hunter Pence.
Pedro Feliz got his first of the year last night. Now Berkman follows suit.
Ryder on the bat gets away from him. Oh, hangs around off a seat. Hopefully nobody injured. Looks like everybody's okay down there. That was in strike 2. Same thing happened last night. Flying out of the hands of Hunter. Zach Ham is here today. He's sitting out in the Landry's Crawford boxes. He might have caught that Berkman home run. Happy birthday to Zach Ham.
On his birthday. How sweet would that be?
It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Even if he didn't catch it, you gotta negotiate with whoever did. Say, look, I'm turning 10 today. Hook me up.
It's 2-2 to Hunter Pence. He had a couple of good hits last night. 2 for 4, 2-run double and a single. 190 batting average for Hunter. 1 homer and 4 runs batted in.
Everybody that came to bat last night, at least once for the Astros, had a hit, including Wandy. Pitched quite well. Matsui came off the bench to pinch hit. He had a knock. All the other regulars had at least 1 hit. It's a good all-around win. Pitching was good. Offense really showed some life.
Pedro Feliz is on deck. Chop back to the pitcher. Morton takes care of out number 1. Time to go to the phone. The 1 out is Pedro Feliz. He's on a 4-game hitting streak, including that 2-run homer last night and a double, going 2 for 4 in that game. Feliz with a .250 average has 1 homer and 8 runs batted in now. That was his first home run in 74 at bats going back to last year for Pedro. He leads the club in runs batted in. Strike 1 for Morton. Now the 13-hit attack last night was the most by an Astros team so far this year. Everybody taking part. Our producer Wade Robinson telling me they checked, and it's actually the 5th time in the majors this year that everybody in the batting order got a hit for that team in a game. Line drive right center field. Feliz loops one in. Hit number 2 for the Astros gives J.R. Tolles a base runner.
Feliz is a pull hitter. 2 strikes there, willing to go the other way, or maybe stay on it long enough to push it out there in the right center field. Speaking of pull hitters, here's another one.
J.R. Tolles is another of those pull hitters. 200 batting average, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in for J.R. Humberto Quintero did the catching last night. Each of the catchers has started 9 games this year now. Strike to J.R. J.R. has caught each of Roy Oswalt's 4 starts and each of Brad Meyer's 4 starts, including this one, and he caught 1 Bud Norris game. And he has those 5 runs batted in his 8 starts at catcher. That's good output. Oh, he bangs that one off his front foot. No balls, 2 strikes.
Tom Howling going to go out and sweep off home plate and give JR a chance to walk that off a little bit. Right about now you're thinking, maybe I'd just rather be in a fishing boat somewhere. Sunday afternoon. Catching a couple of bass.
Yeah. Some type of low injury risk. Foul ball back, keeps the count at no balls, 2 strikes.
Still a fair bit of pain there, hobbling around. I got an idea, JR, hit it in the seats, that way you can jog.
Oh, yeah.
Run around the bases.
Yeah, with JR and Humberto Quintero, those 2 pretty good numbers combined. 2 homers, 7 runs batted in for the first 17 games. That one must have been close, but it's called ball 1 by Tom Halley, and it's 1-2.
Much tougher to get the inside corner called than the outside corner. Why is that? I have no idea.
Let's see where his eyes set up. Over the inside corner. 2-2.
Of course, Fox Tracks says that ball was off the plate inside, so a lot of it, I guess, is our perspective because of the camera angle.
Right. The camera's positioned in left center field. Right there. Runner going. Here's the throw from Dolan, bouncing, and the tag not in time. Stolen base, Pedro Feliz. On ball 3 to J.R. Tolles. First of the year for Feliz.
They stole a base and the siren goes off. How about that?
That was close.
Now, you don't think of Pedro Feliz as a base stealer.
Steps got a little choppy as he closed in on the bag there.
Ooh, Murrah whiffed on the tag. Otherwise, they would have had him.
3-2 the count with Manzella on deck. Hooked into left field. Feliz is being sent home by Dave Clark to make it 2-1 Astros. Play at second base on Tolles. He's in head first with a double. 2-1 Astros. Tolles with his second double gets RBI number 6.
That stolen base pays off. Please. Not have been able to score from first base on that double. Good hustle by JR right out of the box. Able to turn this into a 2-base hit. He runs better than most catchers. Obviously no damage done by that foul ball off the shin.
That was worth sticking around for. That painful foul. Drives in a go-ahead run, and he's at second for Tommy Manzella now.
And right now he's saying, I'm glad I'm not out on the boat after he's got an RBI double in the big league.
33 pitches into the game. Charlie Morton has fallen behind. Manzella at 227 has driven in a couple.
I'm not sure what the plan is in Pittsburgh, but I would think Charlie Morton, if he doesn't get this thing turned around, I don't know how many starts they're going to give him, but it has been ugly so far for him.
Ball one to Manzella. Well, they're saying all the things about being supportive for Morton. It's too early in the season to pull the plug on him. He's 26 years old. Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach, strongly behind him as far as what the Pirates' top brass is telling media. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brad Lincoln, the University of Houston #1 draft choice, is waiting in the wings at AAA Indianapolis. Some reports indicate he needs more time there. Kevin Hart is there. He was in the rotation last year and was expected to be the #5 starter for the Buccos, but he had a horrible spring. And lefty Brian Burris and right-hander Brian Bass just joined the Pirates today. So perhaps those options will come into play. And a strikeout. First strikeout for Morton. 2 outs, and it's Myers batting. Houston pitchers have really done a whale of a job with the bat this year. The 346 average. Conference here. Doman out to talk with Morton. Astros pitching staff leads the National League in collective batting average. A strikeout by Myers in the second inning on Morton. Number 1,000 of Brett's career. His second strikeout here in the top of the second inning.
Got that ball.
Yeah.
It's worth hanging on to.
Yeah. 1,000 strikeouts. Here goes to first base. Oh, it's called by the home plate umpire, Tom Hallion. Strike 1. A lot of things have been done well recently by the Astros starting pitchers. As a group, they have a 3.87 ERA. Breaking pitch is good for another strike. It's 0-2.
Morton's stuff is certainly good enough to compete at the big league level. Obviously has been inconsistent with his location.
Myers with a late swing, strikes out. And in the second inning, the Astros grab the lead with 2 runs on 3 hits. Berkman hit a homer to join Reggie Smith with number 314 of his career, tied for 5th on the all-time list. For switch hitters, it's 2-1. here at Minute Maid Park. Weather's been spectacular. Bird's eye view there from atop the screen.
Call of the Wild. Peculiar sound. It's a little like a finch or something, isn't it?
I don't know.
I guess it's a turkey.
It's a sparrow. What we're being told.
I think I see gold.
Gold? Okay.
The turkey says.
Yes.
The scene say pull a little string. The goat says.
Andrew McCutchen leads it off in inning number 3. Got a fly ball, and it was caught by Michael Bourne on the run in shallow right center field his first time up. Myers gets strike 1 call. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Brad Myers, who has 73 major league wins and 64 losses. He started in the rotation last year for the Phillies and then had to have hip surgery after making 10 starts. Came back as a reliever. Rolled into right field by McCutchen. He might be off and running. Hit number 6 for the Pirates, and we go to Greg Lucas, who's back in town after being at a rainout in Missouri.
I had nothing going on yesterday, but fan mail is here with us now. It's our version of what we used to call email the booth. All you got to do, and it's very, very simple. This is even simpler than ever. Go to the website, foxsportshouston.com, and you will see a little thing. It says fan mail. Click on it, and then you can send us a note throughout any game or at any time. I'll read them all initially, and Brownie and JD will get some of them, and we'll get back to you. Some of them we'll talk about on the air, and we'll talk about things like that. Back to you guys upstairs.
Great throw by J.R. Tolles to get the speedy Andrew McCutchen, who was 9 of 10 in stolen bases. John Russell coming out to argue the Mike Muchlinski call.
Millage taking the pitch. JR really unloaded. That was so close at second base. I think he got in there. Yeah, we got a break there.
Tolles throws out his first of the year, at least according to the second base call of Muchlinski. John Russell really making his point. So, yeah, that's called out.
For catcher, that's kind of like when a hitter goes deep off of a really good pitcher. When you know, as a catcher, if you throw out a guy like McCutchen or Michael Bourne, that's what you're kind of proud of. Yeah, I got McCutchen. I mean, even though he appeared to be safe, nonetheless, he made a real good throw.
Yeah, he did.
At least made it a tough call for Muchlinski down there.
First time Tolles has thrown out a man this year in 3 tries. Millage with an 0-2 count now. I love that replay of McCutchen's arms just churning. It looks like a boxer just pummeling somebody in the corner. Well, his arms really go to work for him when he runs. And Millage is down on strikes. Let's see it one more time. This is fun.
Head down, straight ahead. Sliding to the back corner of the base, and yeah, he was in there.
He is a blur. 2 outs, and it's Garrett Jones. Jones singled to center field and came around to score the second inning. So it has certainly intrigued the Pirates, who have played him a lot. He's 28 years old. Harvey, Illinois. 11 years in the minor leagues, and then after just a brief time with Minnesota in 07, last year he came up with Pittsburgh and hit 21 homers and 314 at bats. All one. So maybe this is the year we find out if this guy is for real. He hit 10 homers in the month of July alone to lead the majors. The last Pirate to lead the majors in homers in 1 month was Willie Stargell in 71. Top of first, Perkman with the toss to Myers. And it's no runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Middle of the third inning, 2-1 Astros. Leave the downtown area beyond that left field wall. Michael Bourne leads it off. Grounded to second in the first inning. Michael bunts, and it's foul for strike one. We were talking last night about these two speed merchants in center field. McCutchen for the Pirates and Bourne for the Astros. Running game and how that's become more prevalent in baseball in recent years, with some of the big home run hitters' power totals dropping somewhat. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and I think too that from what you read and see around the game the last year or two, there's been more of an emphasis on defense, which probably lends itself to more speed players, athletic players who cover more ground in the field, and obviously steal some bags for you.
That's a good point. Jacoby Ellsbury led the American League. Michael Bourne led the National League. Together they stole 131 bases last year. That was the highest combined number for the AL and NL leaders since 1994. So even though the home run leaders totals are dropping, the stolen base leaders totals are going the other way. And Bourne draws a walk. He might be thinking about running here.
Astros and Reds start a series Tuesday night at 7:05. Take advantage of Double Play Tuesdays. It's presented by Powerade. It's every Tuesday home game. Bring the labels from any two 32-ounce bottles of Powerade, and you'll receive 2 outfield deck tickets for only $2. Astros.com is the place to go.
Now, here's Fungus. Jeff Keppinger. Michael Bourne has been on base, 15 of 17. JD gave Jeff Keppinger the nickname Fungus last night. He grows on you.
Yeah. We'll probably have to run that by him for his approval.
Yeah, we have not received any congratulatory calls or emails from his family about that one.
Calling my son a fungus?
Runner going, swing and a miss. The throw sails into center field, and Michael Bourne will hold there. McCutchen was backing up the play, and he has a good arm. Bourne gets steal number 6. And he took off on the first pitch. The count's 0-1, and that's helpful to the hitter. Oh, they called a foul ball. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, you could hear it.
And as you can see, it hit the dirt. Could have been a foul tip caught by the catcher and not hitting the dirt. And no problem with the stolen base. Now Morton, of course, will step back, look over to first. The Pirates are really going to work on Michael Bourne. That's pretty well obvious. Dolman has thrown out 1 of 11 so far this season, including Feliz's steal back in the second, which led to a run. And Morton throws over. This article in Sporting News on base stealing, quoting both Bourne and McCutchen, they were both asked about the Sporting News, when you're picked off, how often is it your mistake? And Bourne said most of the times it's me being lazy, standing straight up. McCutchen said you should never get picked off. Every time you do, it's a mistake. Popped up. Battling the sun, it's Crosby at shortstop.
Yeah. You know, in Michael's case, he's talking about the mechanics, I guess, of his lead and his jump, and you're talking about getting picked off at first base and not thrown out trying to steal.
Right.
I disagree with McCutchen. I think base stealers, if they get picked off every now and then, it's not terrible. I mean, you don't want to make a habit out of it, but I think their job is to be daring. If you got Yadier Molina behind the plate and a pitcher with a quick delivery at first, I think it makes perfect sense to put yourself in jeopardy if you're trying to steal the base. Now, if you're not going and you get picked off, yeah, that's not a good play.
Carlos Lee, the batter, he had a 2-0 pitch in the air to right field first time.
I mean, it's no better to get thrown out at second than it is to get picked off at first. It's still an out.
Good point.
So it all comes down to the situation. The tandem pitcher-catcher, you're working against who the base runner is. Carlos, he tries to steal sometimes. He tries to can just guess and get that huge jump. And if the pitcher steps off, well, he's hung out and it looks bad. But that's the only way he's going to steal a base. He's not going to steal it the conventional way, where he waits for the pitcher's first move and then goes.
Pirates again work on Bourne. It's 2-1. The Astros lead it here. The Pirates got the lead off Brett Myers, putting together 4 singles in the second, but then Myers got Iwamura on a comebacker as the Pirates left the bases loaded. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays with you today. We enjoyed having Jeff Bagwell with us last night. Lance Berkman homered in the second, and then J.R. Tolles got the go-ahead double.
Yeah, boy, it was Legends night up here last night. We had Baggy with us. Bish stuck his head in the booth momentarily. Cheo was next door.
Matt Galani. He's a legend.
The brain floating around. Dirk was here yesterday.
That's right. Bourne takes off. Ground ball. Makes it into left field. And Bourne will continue to third base. Here's the throw. He's safe on a single by Carlos Lee. Bourne makes it as he runs on the pitch and goes on to third base.
And Michael Bourne's been drawing a lot of walks in recent games and then using his legs to great advantage. Another play here. He's moving with the pitch. And able to go first to third on a routine base hit to left field because he was on the move.
There are not very many guys who can do that. First to third on a hit to left field like that.
Especially in this ballpark. Yeah. That's one thing in Pittsburgh, in that big left field there where the left fielder's a little deeper, but in this yard, the left fielder's awfully close.
Well, Lance Berkman has runners at the corners and 1 out. He homered in the second inning. Oh, the bat takes off out of his hands and goes up in the stands as well.
We've seen it with Hunter, now Lance. We see it with Lance quite a bit over the course of the season. Hitters like to use a real loose grip on the bat, promotes bat head speed. You don't want to be squeezing the daylights out of it. Causes tense muscles. Golfers are aware of that. Tennis players too, right, Brown? You used to play a lot of tennis. You don't want to do this kind of a light grip on the racket, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you tighten it up as you make the swing.
Yeah, it's just, in sports, you try to narrow down that concentration time. Wait until the last possible second before you get the tight grip. Now he wants a pine tar on this bat. Okay. So he'll get another. These speed up rules in the game indicate that hitter's supposed to have another bat ready to go, which he did. And Lance apologetic about the slight delay. No problem there. So that broken bat's going up there to where it landed. There's a gift. Fortunately, those people down close to the field are watching carefully today. We couldn't stress that enough. 1-1. Hunter Pence on deck. Fly ball over third base near the left field line. Millage over, and it's foul by about a couple of feet.
Millage actually retreated a little bit on that ball. He was fooled. I guess given that Lance hit one into the seats above him last time up, probably thinking the same thing. Yeah, in every Major League Park before every game, they make that announcement. Beware of bats and balls entering the stands.
One and two, and Berkman will try to get that run home from third. He looks at a ball to make the count 2-2. Astros swept a 4-game series from the Pirates last September. Looking for their first sweep of this year. They won 6 of 7 and 7 of the last 9. They have a .713 winning percentage against the Pirates here. Carlos takes off, and no throw as he gets a rare steal. the year for Lee.
You see, they never made him stop. Sliding off the bag. Morton not really paying much attention to him. Bigger things on his mind, with Bourne down there at third and Berkman in the batter's box, and Lee took advantage.
116 career steals for Carlos. Berkman fouls it. He had 5 and 8 tries last year. Obviously, has slowed down the last few years, but back in his earlier years, he did some effective running. He was 13 of 17 in Milwaukee in 05, 19 of 21 in 06 in stealing bases.
Situation where they're not likely to give in to Lance here. He almost did.
Yeah.
You know, the pitcher has to be smart enough to know if the game plan is to be very cautious or pitch around a guy. That doesn't just mean don't throw a fastball. Some guys interpret pitching around or pitching carefully to not challenge with a fastball, and they think they can get away with any breaking ball. And you throw a sloppy breaking pitch up there, you're asking for trouble. Pirates, the man on second base now, employing a series of taps by Doman as opposed to fingers to give the sign.
Berkman fouls it. Lance admitted that it was tough to concentrate last night after hitting that line drive off the pitcher, Makabauskas. .60 pitches in for Charlie Morton. 37 have been strikes.
Given that last pitch, apparently he's not thinking about being too cautious here.
Breaking pitch is hit foul. Bobby Crosby, who was playing first base last night for the Pirates, said in one of the articles that Astros fans should be proud of a player like Lance Berkman because of his concern for the opposing pitcher who was injured last night. Numbers on Morton. And a walk to Berkman loads the bases for Hunter Pence. Second walk of the inning.
Took a couple of shots to try to get him, and then maybe just overthrew that fastball a little bit. I'm John Russell. I'm not overly worked up about that walk. The base open after Carlos stole second. Sets up a double play. Pence a tough man to double. But if you can get him to roll over, hit a ball to shortstop, you might be able to get out of this inning.
Nobody warming up at the moment for the Pirates. Pirates play tomorrow night in Milwaukee. They have Zach Dukes scheduled to go against Giovanni Gallardo. They've not announced their starter for Tuesday night. Wednesday night they have Paul Maholm, Wednesday afternoon. Now Hunter Pence with the bases loaded, 1 out. Grounded back to the pitcher in the second. 2-11 with the bases loaded. He has Bourne, Lee, and Berkman. And this ball went to Hunter. Last night he struck out with a man at third and 1 out. Things like that tend to eat at a hitter.
A good take there. Lay off that breaking ball off the edge and see if you can force the pitcher to come over the plate with a fastball.
Tap the shortstop. There's a toss from Crosby. Romero does not get the double play. Michael Bourne scores, and the speed of Hunter Pence gets him an RBI. 3-1 Astros.
You just can't afford to treat it like a routine ball when Pence is going down the line. You have to come a little bit harder if you're the shortstop here. I'm sure Charlie Morton felt like he got his double play. I mean, it's not like Crosby lollygagged it, but you got to do a little something extra if you're going to get double play with Pence going down the line. Especially on a ball like that. When he rolls over on one, he's got that momentum taking him out of the batter's box.
Lee at third. Hunter on at first for Feliz, who singled, stole a base, and scored. Six hits for the Pirates, 4 hits for the Astros. Doman goes out to talk with Morton.
They're out of timeouts. They use all their timeouts for this half.
Pirates are warming up a pitcher, so they may want a little delay here. Brian Bass, who just joined them today, a right-hander, is warming up. He came up from Indianapolis. Daniel McCutchen, who pitched last night, was optioned to Indianapolis to make room for Bass. And an outfielder named Brandon Jones was designated for assignment to clear a space on the 40-man roster. Hence draws a throw. And Brian Burris, a lefty, also joined this club with Jakubauskas going on the disabled list. Tough times for the Pirates. They were really churning out the wins at a nice pace prior to last week. Getting swept by Milwaukee and blown out, and then losing the first two of this series to tag them with a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, and as we mentioned last night, they get to go back to Milwaukee, where they've lost 21 consecutive ball games. Ooh. I don't know if they go there directly after this, but
yes, they do.
Yeah. Oh my.
Is Gallardo tomorrow night? Pence takes off, and the ball pops out of Doman's hand. A stolen base for Hunter, number 2 of the year, and the Astros get their 3rd of the game.
3rd of the inning. Got the Pirate Club down here, and they're trying to step on their neck. The 1st and 3rd situation, as you see the break by Hunter.
Two 0 to Feliz, and there's strike 1 to Pedro.
Doman had thrown out just 1 of 13 coming into this game. For his career, he's about 28%, which isn't horrible. It's below average, probably.
Feliz looks at it. It's ball 3. And Morton really struggling here. He's falling behind hitters in this inning. Victimized by steals, a couple of walks.
And I'll start with that leadoff walk to Michael Bourne. Walk Bourne, you're asking for trouble, especially when he's leading off an inning.
Shot into center field will score lead. Pence is coming home. McCutchen throws to the plate. Not in time. 2-run single Feliz. 5-1 Astros. Feliz 2 for 2 in this game. That gives him 10 runs batted in for the season.
I'm guessing from what we've seen from Pedro, he likes that high fastball. That's what he hit out of here last night. This pitch up around letter high. Curious selection on 3-1 after pitching carefully and with the base open. A challenge with the high heater, and Feliz jumped all over it.
And it's a 3-run inning. J.R. Tolles pulled an RBI double to left field. Throw goes over to first on Feliz. It's 5 Houston hits now.
Charlie Morton, in his last start, pitched in the second inning but didn't get any outs and gave up 6 runs.
Strike to Tolles.
A 16.5 ERA coming into this game.
For his career, he's 9-20 with a 5.88 ERA. 0-2. Pitcher spot could come up in the next inning if the Pirates get a man on. Feliz attracts the throw. Well, Hunter beating that double play ball has really helped the Astros in this inning. The difference in 3-run scoring. They're still 0-2. Cincinnati Reds continue the homestand. The day off tomorrow. Tuesday night, it's Bud Norris and Aaron Harang. Harang 0-3 with an 8.31 ERA. Hit by the pitch. Stoles reaches. And the 0-2 offering. JR stands up close to the plate. He'll take his lumps.
Another day at the office for a major league catcher. Most of the pain he's suffered today has been in the batter's box. So whacked that foul ball off his leg and now gets drilled by a fastball.
73 pitches for Morton. It's Manzella next, who struck out in the second. That's the first time JR has been hit this season.
I believe that John Russell mentally is about halfway up those dugout steps, and not just physically, but he's going to be getting awfully close to pulling the plug here.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Charlie misses there, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Manzella, the 8th Astro to bat here in the 3rd. Crooked numbers for Morton.
When it rains, it pours.
1-2. Well, you talked about his last start. 1 inning, 5 earned runs. His earned runs allowed for the first 3 starts are 8, 6, and 5. And now another 5. And he's gone 3 1/3, 6, and 1 inning. It's 2-2. That's a rough start. Pirates have been outscored by a wide margin, 125-60 this year. Now back.
Yeah, you know, and your opinion about a team can change from one time you see them to the next, depending on how they're playing. But it looks like a real good club. Of course, you know, the Astros are a great example of that. If you saw them in that first week, you just that's not a very good club. You see them this week, hey, these guys are pretty good.
Yeah. We were talking about that a little bit last night. 3-2. Early part of the season. Not a good time to make judgments, usually.
Yeah, and I can't imagine. I don't think there was another team in baseball that had such a difficult schedule as the Astros. I don't mean just in terms of teams they're playing, but the pitching they ran into in the first 7 days.
Let's witness the Cardinals fly ball right field toward the corner. Garrett Jones handles out number 3. Pedro Feliz drove in 2 with a bullet up the middle, and the Astros played a 3 in the 3rd inning. They stretched their lead to 5-1.
5, Pittsburgh 1. Time now for our progressive fans of the game. And we've got a great group up here sponsored by Bob from ConocoPhillips. Bob, tell us about these kids.
Hi, these kids are from Brookwood and Willow River. Every year we bring them out here for a charity event, get them to a ball game, get them a hot dog and some soda, have a good time, and ConocoPhillips is big into the community, and this is our way of doing it.
And Carol, I know you are in charge of these guys, and the 15th year that ConocoPhillips has been doing this. Can you just talk about what it means to these residents and how much fun they have out here?
Well, they are citizens with special needs, and they love the Astros. They know more about the Astros than any fan here, I promise you. They know who's ahead. They know how many games out we are. And to come out this many guys all at one time, and it's a guys' game today. We brought all our male citizens today. It means everything to them. They're going to send the Astros off with a win today, I'm sure.
All right, well, you guys have a great time. These are our progressive fans of the game, and they're having a great time.
Oh, yeah. What a great group. Ryan Domet takes ball 2. It's 2 balls, no strikes. He singled to right field earlier. Now, Brookwood's in a terrific place. Recommend that spot west of Katy for your dining pleasure sometime. 2 balls and a strike. We go there on the caravan every winter and really enjoy meeting the residents. They make some terrific pottery, ceramic items, grow plants. Do an awful lot of work. Bob Fromm, ConocoPhillips, has been a big Astros fan, Sabre member for many years. 3 balls, no strikes, 3 and 1 rather, to Ryan Domet. Clement and LaRoche to follow. And there's a leadoff walk. Myers can't be happy about that. His first walk of the game.
No, unhappy on a couple of fronts, I would think. One, that he walked, and 2, probably not too thrilled with Tom Halligan either, because, boy, a lot of those pitches are awfully close. And O'Toole standing up chatting with Halligan now, trying to negotiate on his pitcher's behalf.
Jeff Clement struck out on a good Myers curveball in the 2nd inning with 2 men on base. Myers delivers ball 1. Clement won the Johnny Bench Award, the top catcher in the nation when he was at Southern Cal. Now that he's a first baseman, the Pirates would love to see him hit like Johnny Bench. Certainly more offense is expected from a first baseman, generally speaking, and a catcher. 1-1. Pirates do have one of the better offensive catchers in the league in Domet.
Yeah, switch hitter with power. 15 home runs a couple of years ago and limited playing time. One of the best years ever for a Pirate catcher in the home run department.
Pirates have been accumulating young players with their recent trades. They had 11 former first-round draft choices in spring training this year. 2 balls and a strike. Clement, one of those. And they came out of the spring and scored 11 runs in their home opener against the Dodgers. First time they've ever done that in Pirates history. They swept the Reds at home. Things were looking good back then. A strike on the field of Lance Barksdale. Count at 2-2 for Myers. There's 17 straight losing seasons is a record for a professional team in North America in any sport. LaRoche on deck with a 2-2 count on Clement. And once again, Myers snaps one off and gets strikeout number 4.
Got him with a breaking ball last time and again this time. Clement unwilling to cut down on that swing with 2 strikes.
Yes, he was unwilling. LaRoche had an RBI single up the middle. Delwyn Young's coming out to the on-deck circle with his pitcher's spot due up next. LaRoche looks at strike 1. LaRoche led the Pirates team last year in runs batted in with 64 and in hits with 135. Of their opening day starters in 09, Andy was the only one to appear in 100 games for the Pirates because they traded his brother Adam. Traded Freddie Sanchez, Jack Wilson, and Nate McLeod. Ground ball past a diving Feliz, makes it into left field. A single for LaRoche. He's 2 for 2. Dome at the second with 1 out. For the pinch hitter now, Delwyn Young.
Again, this start very similar to some of the other ones for Brett. A lot of traffic, but so far just the 1 run on the board. The 7th hit for the Pirates here this afternoon.
7 hits gives him 31 hits allowed. He's in his 24th inning. He has kept his walks down. He's walked 4 this year.
Yeah, you know, if you don't walk people and you keep the ball in the ballpark, and that's the fear, you know, when you give up a lot of base runners, if somebody pops one on you. And he has been bit by the home run bugaboo a little bit in his career.
Young takes a look at ball 1. Pinch hitting here for Morton. He was 0 for 3 in this series. 212 with 4 runs batted in for Delwyn, who's a switch hitter. He's better from this side so far this year, 231. As a pinch hitter, Young 1 for 5. And that one goes out of play. 1-1. Morton threw 80 pitches. 48 of them were strikes in his 3 innings, allowing 5 hits, 5 runs to the Astros. He walked 2, hit a batter, and had 2 strikeouts. Crosby's on deck. Two balls, 1 strike. Well, with Young in the batter's box, Crosby on deck circle.
There you go.
If the Pirates could just come up with a Stills and a Nash, they'd have quite a group, huh?
They would. You'd probably find a Nash somewhere in the annals of baseball history. I can't think of any Stills.
Jim Nash was a pitcher with Oakland. What about a Stills? 3-1. What was that young Frankenstein outfield of yours with Cincinnati a few years ago?
Yeah, that was Dimitri Young, Michael Frank, and Chris Steins.
Oh, that's right.
Jack McKeon had him out there in left, center, and right. The young Frankenstein's outfield. Well, that was back in the Dome days. That was a long time ago.
Smash, and Myers picked it. He throws toward third. Feliz with a tag. Spectacular play.
Unbelievable play. I don't know if Myers caught that or if the ball caught him. But he was able to get to his knees and turn and make a throw to third base.
Oh, yeah.
That's just incredible.
On both parts. That was short hop pickup.
You know, you're telling yourself you get a comebacker there, you're going to try to turn a double play. But that happened so quickly, and as he got to his knee, I think he just saw the base runner going from second to third and said, I'll take a shot at him.
Pedro Feliz scooped it and made the tag. And sliding dome it. 2 outs, runners at first and second for Crosby. He singled first time up. That's strike 1. Well, to speak to your point about Myers and the constant traffic he's allowed, and he gave up 12 hits in 6 innings in his first start here. If you make plays like that, and some double plays to get out of innings, it's workable. And you're right, if you don't walk a lot of guys, keep the ball in the park for the most part.
Good fastball there. Yeah, last year he allowed 18 home runs in just 70 innings of work with the Phillies. And the year before, 29 home runs in 190 innings. Those are fairly big home run numbers. But that ballpark in Philadelphia is a home run haven. And before you jump on me and go, what about this place? Well, this place does give up some cheap home runs, but it plays much more neutral than a lot of people realize.
Oh, yeah, you can hit a ball very well here to right center and hit it. If Michael Bourne's playing center field, it's an out, but in Philadelphia, it's way out. All the way, still 1-2. That's a part of what the Astros wanted to create this year for their pitching staff. Better defensive support. Myers throws ball 2, and it's 2-2. We talk a lot about range, and there are all kinds of statistics now defensively. Runs saved. Who's the top shortstop in the majors and runs saved? That requires a lot of judgments, but it's interesting to read. A whole lot of attention being paid right now to the defensive side of baseball. Strike 3. Crosby's caught looking, and Myers is out of 4th-inning trouble. With no runs a hit, 2 men stranded. Pirates have had constant traffic on the bases, but the Astros lead it 5-1. Use the escapability skills of Brett Myers in this one to keep the Pirates to 1 run on the scoreboard. First of all, he's allowed only singles, 7 of them, JD.
It has been impressive work. This day in Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. 30 years ago today, J.R. Richard picks up career win number 100 as the Astros beat the Metropolitans 7-4. Here's that play Brett Myers made in the top half of the inning. Runners on first and second. A sharply hit ball. Looked like trouble. But he makes a heck of a play. Quick glove down to the hands and knees. And the optimal play might have been to try to get 2, but hard to fault a guy who's on his hands and knees after making a play like that. You'll see the base runner out first. He may have been able to get a double play. But just to get an out was big. And the bottom line is he posted a 0 in that inning.
Now he bats against the relief pitcher Brian Bass, just in the game for Morton. Just joining this ball club today. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bass, 28 years old, from Pinehurst, North Carolina. 9-7 as a major leaguer with a 4.87 ERA and 4 complete games in 97 appearances. Runs that one in on Myers. Last year, Brian with Baltimore was 5-3. His ERA with the Orioles was 4.90 in 48 games as a reliever.
I wonder if he's a good golfer. He's from Pinehurst.
Rolled out to shortstop. Crosby. 1 out. Pirates are certainly hoping he's a good pitcher the way things have been going. AT&T has trivia for us today. Who's the Astros single season all-time appearances leader?
I want to say that happened fairly recently.
Probably did. We're told that he might be here today. A strike 1 to Michael Bourne. That might be as intriguing. Bourne grounded out. He walked and scored.
How many Burdack have? Didn't Burdack have a bunch last year?
Yes, he did. He had over 80. Is it somebody in that Pirate bullpen? Octavio Dotel had a lot of appearances.
Juan Augusto, Johnny August.
Yeah. Yeah, Juan had over 80. Michael Bourne has a 3-ball, 1-strike count.
I got an idea. Walk Michael Bourne. See how that works out for you. Hit one in the corner. Oh, man.
Michael's drawn 10 walks this year. Third walk for Pirate pitching. Michael's had a .455 on base average for this homestand coming into this game. 4 stolen bases. He now has scored 6 runs on this homestand.
Ryan Doman behind home plate shaking his head. Goes, do I have to deal with Bourne again? Can we at least throw this guy a strike?
Jeff Kepinger's 0 for 2.
This fellow Bass, as Brownie mentioned, born in Pinehurst. He went to high school in Montgomery, Alabama. 6th-round pick of the Royals back in 2000. Spent some big league time with the Twins back in 08, as well as the Orioles. Red light, green light, red light.
Astros have stolen 3 bases. The Astros have a .713 winning percentage here against the Pirates since Minute Maid Park opened. 57 wins, 23 losses. That's their second best against any team. Pitch out there, Bourne holding.
Pitch out. It was fairly close. You got to be careful. Yeah, the Keppinger might go out there and slap one to right on you.
He certainly could.
Pitching out there on 0-0 puts his pitcher in a hole.
One goes. Doman's throw is not in time.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you pitch out on 0-0 and they're not going. Awfully tough to call back-to-back pitch outs unless you got a guy on the mound you feel like can come back from 2-0. But basically, Doman is at the mercy of the situation and not even close at second base.
Fourth steal by an Astro today. That's number 6 for Michael Bourne this year. He's going to third without a throw.
Run, Michael, run. See Michael run. Run, run, run. Somebody's going to make a book for kids here in Houston. Sell it in the high school or the grade schools. Hopefully not the high schools. Hopefully we'll be on that.
Now the infield comes in. 5 steals for the Astros.
Yeah, and with all that distraction created by Bourne, the pitch out, it leads to a 4-pitch walk to Keppinger, and the Astros set up for another potential big inning. The middle of the order comes up here.
Carlos Lee is 1 for 2. He stole a base and scored. Previous high in a game for the Astros this year for steals was 2.
Not a ways to catch the Rangers, though. They got 9 the other day against the Red Sox.
Wow. Is that the Tim Wakefield game?
Yeah.
Dave Clark moving around near third base. Michael Bourne is there. A 1-0 count. McCutcheon back into right center field. There's a flyer by Lee. It goes all the way to the right center field wall. Scoring Bourne. Keppinger around third. Lee heads for third base. And the throw gets by and goes out of play, and he will score. 3 runs coming home on the play to give the Astros an 8-1 lead.
That's a Little League home run.
Carlos with 2 runs batted in to give him 5.
Don't tell me those days off aren't a good idea. Carlos came out here today ready to rock and roll. Singled and stole a base, scored last time, and now this triple. Slider away. Fastball out of third. Well, actually, according to Foxtrot's right down Broadway, and he jumps all over it.
Lance Berkman looks at ball 1.
That's just 15 pitches. Only 5 in the strike zone.
Strike evens the count at 1-1 as Carlos leads. Bud Norris is doing the honors. Cooling off the big stallion. He should get a pretty good pulse on him right now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a mad dash around the bases. 2-run triple, then an error allows him to score. It's his first triple of the year. Berkman rolls over on that one, hits a foul ball. Carlos with 14 triples in his major league career. The Astros really have become a much more efficient offensive club during this homestand. 8 runs on 6 hits today. They have taken those walks to the bank. There have been 4 of those and a hit batsman. Cashing in. And they're preventing the Pirates from cashing in on their base runners. 2-2. Pirates have had 7 hits, but they've all been singles. They lost a runner at first on a double play on the fly ball to Bourne. They've had a caught stealing. Berkman fouls it. Still 2-2. Take a look at that throwing problem. McCutcheon gets it back into Crosby, and Crosby's throw gets by LaRoche. Well, the error on Crosby. 5 stolen bases, the most by an Astros team since the 06 team at Washington. Berkman strikes out. Let's go back to that trivia question.
What was the trivia question?
The most appearances by an Astro in one season.
Stretch Suba.
Was it Octavio Dotel? He had 83. 2002. Good to see him back. He's the Pirate closer. That's why we haven't seen him. Hunter Pence.
Pirate closer's kind of like the Maytag repairman here lately.
Yeah. Ball 1 to Hunter.
It's the chair.
Boy. Rough times in Pittsburgh right now.
He'll probably get an inning today anyway.
Yeah. He got an inning Thursday. 2-0. Or Wednesday, whenever their last previous game was before this series. In the blowout, a couple of Pirate position players have said in recent stories they wouldn't mind pitching. 3 balls, no strikes. I was asking Brad Mills about that the other day. Would you consider using a position player to pitch? He said, I'd really rather not. Three and 1 to Hunter Pence.
Yeah, just fearful of injury of a guy hurting his arm. Basically, except for those like that 20-inning game with the Cardinals, that was a very unique situation. But usually when you're asking a position player to pitch, it's in a blowout game, it's 14-0, and you don't want to use guys in your bullpen. So you would tell the position player, hey, just go out there and throw BP. Just take it nice and easy. But what happens is the guy gets on the mound, the competitive juices are flowing. He's flashing back to his high school glory days when they did a little pitching. And the next thing you know, he's trying to hump up a little bit, maybe trying to break off a slider or two. And, now might have to shut him down for 3 or 4 days with a tender arm. Can't play the field.
Jose Canseco comes to mind. There's the way the Astros have performed offensively in this game.
Well, it was a big day yesterday. Everybody in the lineup chipping in. So far, just about everybody contributing in this one.
Pedro Feliz is among the top contributors with 2 hits, 2 runs batted in, a steal, and a run scored. Nice play at third. That throw from Myers in the tag. There's ball 1. In the air, and let's see if the first baseman moves in for this one. Jeff Clement over to foul ground. The Astros tag on 3 to their lead to make it 8-1 as Carlos Lee drives home 2 with a triple to right center and comes home on the throwing error by Crosby to make it the 3rd run in the inning, and 8-1 Astros through 4. Here, leading at 8-1 over the Pirates. And the top 3 hitters in the order due up against Brett Myers in inning number 5. Iwamura is ready to go. He is 1 for 2. He hit the first pitch of the game for a single to right field. Strike 1 for Myers. He has spaced 7 singles throughout the first 4 innings. The Pirates have had base runners in each inning. They left the bases loaded in the second. It's no balls, 2 strikes with Myers shooting for his first win as an Astro.
Yeah, it's a weekend of firsts here. Wandy got his first win. Carlos got his first RBI. Lance and Feliz hit their first home runs.
Strike 3. Strikeout number 6 for Myers.
Little backdoor slider here. Tom Hallion takes a good long look at it and says, that's good enough for me.
One run on 7 hits, 5 left on base, 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Hit a fly ball into a double play, and they had a caught stealing. McCutchen takes a strike. He had that fly ball, which wound up being the double play, and then a single to right field for McCutchen. He and Niger Morgan shared the leadoff spot last year for Pittsburgh. Morgan moved on, making room for McCutchen, and they combined to score 106 runs, draw 78 walks, and steal 34 bases. So the Pirates did have good production from that top spot in the order last year.
And speed so important in the outfield, and certainly in Pittsburgh, in a big ballpark. So Millage, the left fielder, has center field speed, but that'll pay off in their home ballpark. That would have been fun if they'd hung on to Morgan. They would have had the M's and Morgan, Millage, and McCutchen outfield, and yeah. Nothing would have dropped.
No. Tapped in the hole. Backhanded Manziel. He's going to have to hurry. Throws it high. Infield hit for McCutchen.
Manziel got rid of it as quickly as he could, but with McCutchen's speed, they weren't going to get him. So pulled him off a little bit, but McCutchen already by the bag.
Lastings Millage is another number of the first round draft choices. He's 0 for 2 in this game. He was the 12th player drafted in 03 by the Mets from Bradenton, Florida. Hit .414 as a senior in high school for a state 5A championship team.
Yeah, baseball teams will draft athletes down in the draft a little bit if they're just real speedy guys. They figure they can teach them how to hit. But if they can hit as well, if they already have some baseball skills, those guys move to the top of the draft.
Hunter Pence catches the liner and right. 2 outs. Garrett Jones comes up. Jones has a single in 2 trips. Cincinnati got 2 in the 8th to take the lead on San Diego. 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th inning and try to cool off the streaking Padres. They have been torrid with outstanding pitching. San Diego's now 11-6 with an 8-game winning streak for the Padres. 6:47 baseball, tying the Phillies for the best in the league. Runner going. Throw from JR to Manzella. Safe at second. McCutchen gets the steal. That's number 10 of the year for Andrew.
And down 7 runs, that's one of those you absolutely have to be sure you're going to make it. In his mind, he was safe last time, so he said, I'm getting that bag back. They took that one from me. I don't care what the score is.
You know that. Tolles with a stop on ball 1, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And the Reds have slipped to 7-11. They're in last place now, but they're only 3.5 behind the Cardinals. We were talking earlier about the Astros playing a tough schedule. As witness the Cardinals weekend in San Francisco. They've scored 1 run in 2 games coming into this one today, and Giants are trying to sweep them with Barry Zito piling on to Tim Lincecum's good game. Lee in left, back, and he has it at the base of the wall. In the 5th inning, it's no runs ahead. A runner stranded after 4.5. Astros 8, Pirates 1.
And fans, Astros baseball is always more fun with a group. Bring your team, your church group, or family to Minute Maid Park for your next outing. It only takes 20 or more people to enjoy discount pricing on tickets. For more information, call 1-800-ASTROS-2 tonight and ask about fundraising opportunities, guys.
Thanks, Patty. The Astros leading at 8-1 here. Come up in the bottom of the 5th inning against Brian Bass, of Charlie Morton. J.R. Tolles had an RBI double in the 2nd inning. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. JR takes ball 1. Washington is getting shut out pitching today and leads the Dodgers 1-0 after 8. Scott Olsen went the first 7. Tyler Clippard has pitched the 8th.
This club's run to 13 innings yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
The Dodgers finally got him. You were talking before the inning ended about that Zito game last night. I listened to a little bit of that on the radio on my way home. Well, that sounded like a dandy. He and Wainwright matching zeros to the late innings.
Yeah.
Zito appears to be back. He punched out, I think, 10 in that game.
Yeah. They were raving about him. Wainwright had the 8-inning complete game for the Cardinals in the loss. Cooper did some surgery on Pujols last night. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So with that loss, the Cardinals losing the first 2 of that series are 10-7. Coming back down to earth a little bit. And that means a very tight NL Central, 3.5 games from top to bottom for 6 clubs.
Penny and Kane in that game today in San Francisco.
Strikeout of Tolles. 2 for Bass.
Cubs thumping the Brewers 11-1. They played 5 in Milwaukee, and apparently the Brewers are moving Jeff Suppan to the bullpen. Replacing with Chris Narveson in the starting rotation.
Okay. Oh, looked like he wanted to punch that bat. Tommy Manzella has struck out and fly to right. Have you been on teams that put a punching bag down in the tunnel?
I bought one once. Those little inflatable clowns.
How'd that work out?
It lasted about an inning and a half.
Buy any more after that?
No. I thought it was a good idea. It just wasn't durable enough. It was little cheapy deals with the sand in the bottom.
Oh,
for
yeah.
a kid, you know.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing to have an outlet down there, something to punch after a hitter strikes out or somebody does something you didn't like.
Yeah, most guys just beat on the wall. They'll take their bat and oil away on the wall or something.
It could be harmful.
Yeah, Billy Doran used to make some noise, you know, down there in the bowels of the Astrodome.
Well, actually, we used to hear him all the way up in the broadcast booth. And there'd be the small crowd. That whack would just resound throughout the dome. Would you say he was one of the top power hitting wall hitters you've been around?
Billy could snap. He wouldn't do it a lot, but when he'd had enough, it was time to let go. And even the most mild-mannered of guys, and I wouldn't say Billy was mild-mannered, but even the most mild-mannered of guys would snap every now and then and take their frustration. It is, kids listening at home, yeah, I'm going to do that. No, this is their livelihood here.
Yeah. Sell it taps out. No, we don't advocate that.
Yeah, no, this is a much higher level of pressure and tension.
Here at Minute Maid Park, it's Houston 8, Pittsburgh 1. The Astros trailed 1-0 briefly, then they came back with 2 in the second. Had a couple of 3-run frames in the 3rd and 4th. Bill Brown, Jim DeShays, Patty Smith with you today. Glad you're with us on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. Oh, it's so clear and bright out there. Brett Myers is 0 for 2. He hits one to right, backing up Garrett Jones. Garrett Jones with a sliding catch in right. Robs Brett Myers of an extra base hit. That's a 1-2-3 fifth for Brian Bass, thanks to Garrett Jones, and it's 8-1 Astros. and the bat left the hands of Hunter Pence. Where did it go? Well, third base line. The Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by the Frostproof Coors Light. Nobody heard on that one. Somebody got a souvenir. Hunter went back to work. Now he's at work in right field on a sunny day with Brett Myers warming up for the 6th inning. The Astros lead it 8-1. Student release forms are available right here for the choir.
Creative use right there.
Yeah,
by the choir director.
So get your student release forms right now at Minute Maid Park.
Morton Ranch choir sang the national anthem today.
Very nice job.
All manner of headwear here today.
Improvisation is sometimes necessary when a cap is not there. Ryan Domet has singled and walked. We talked about that Cubs game in Milwaukee. Andy Wells just started for Chicago, and Dave Bush was lit up by the Cubs. He gave up 7 earned runs in 3 2/3. Myers delivers ball 1 to Ryan Domet. Fukudome hit number 3. Tyler Colvin number 3. Giovanni Soto number 2. And Derek Lee number 4 for Chicago. And run barrage. Liner to right field. Hunter Pence over to play it. And it's a single for Domet. He continues a perfect day. 2 singles and a walk.
It's been a rough go for him behind the plate with all the base running the Astros have done, but he's gotten some measure of revenge in the batter's box himself.
Well, Lou Pinella's working in Colvin. Colvin 3 for 3 with 3 runs batted in today for the Cubs. He could be a rising young star in the National League. Jeff Clement struck out a couple of times on Myers' breaking balls. Now he lines a fastball to right, getting Domet to second base, and the Pirates are on the attack again.
Yeah, limited looks at Clement, but he just, to me, looks like a dead fastball hitter. He gets one, he doesn't get cheated.
A good swing on that one, and the Pirates are buzzing again.
So 78 pitches for Brett Myers in this game. You just get the feeling he's comfortable with guys on base. No biggie.
Yeah, that's right. Ryan Burris is warming up in the bullpen for the Pirates. Pitcher spot coming up next. Ryan Church is in the on-deck circle with LaRoche batting. LaRoche 2 for 2 with an RBI. It's 10 hits, all singles for the Buccos.
They had the leadoff man reach in every inning but the 5th.
Boy, that's crazy.
Man, just scored just 1 run.
That is hard to do. Batting average against Myers was .304 when he started this game today. But his ERA was just above 4. 10 hits, 1 run in 5 innings plus. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. The Astros have some relievers who need some work today. That pitch was a good one to swing at. LaRoche unable to do anything but foul it for strike 1.
It's a good position to be in as a manager, to have relievers who need work. You know things have been going your way when that's the case.
Yeah. As opposed to relievers who need transplants in order to get through another game. 1-1 the count. Lined over shortstop into left center field. Domet waited for the ball to clear. He gets to third, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. LaRoche 3 for 3 in this game. Just a crazy game for the Pirates with all the hitting they've done. 11 hits. And now Church will come up as a pinch hitter.
High fastball. LaRoche, good aggressive swing. Pitch was out of the zone up, but he got to it. Brad Arnsberg is going to come out and provide a little counsel. So Sammy Gervasio has just rejoined the Astros. He's out there in the pen. Wilton Lopez sent back to the minor leagues.
Well, Sammy's stirring. Chris Sampson is just beginning to warm up. Chris is one of those who could probably use an inning today. Day off coming tomorrow And then the brand new series starts Tuesday night with the Reds in town. Our Jack in the Box standings will show you the Astros minor league report. Colin Delhomme has adjusted well to AAA. He's hit .286 with 3 homers at Round Rock. He's performed well in the outfield. Fernando Abad, the lefty at Corpus, has an ERA of 2.25 with Jordan Lyles at 2.30. And Giovanni Meyer at Lexington, 10 for 48 with 9 runs batted in. Jeff Bagwell will be headed for that club soon. And Kobe Clements.
Yeah.
He's ripping it up.
6 home runs already.
15 runs batted in 15 games for Kobe at Corpus Christi. Church takes, and it's strike 1 to Ryan. Ryan was 0 for 4 as the starting left fielder here Friday night. Count going to 1 ball, 1 strike. Came up as a pinch hitter in last night's game, and he grounded out. He has 3 base runners on with a 1-1 count, and Crosby on deck. Fouls that one for 1 and 2. Church has hit safely in 5 of his last 7 games. He came up with a 3-run pinch hit double while he made his Pirates debut on opening day against the Dodgers. Great performance there in a bases loaded situation. Now he gets another chance with the bases juiced. 2 grand slams and a .308 average, and 2 for 3 this year with the bases loaded for Ryan Church. In tight for ball 2. Myers is at 85 pitches for the day. Brett threw 106 in his last start, 111 before that. In his first start of the year, he was at 100. It's been a good thing that he's brought to this pitching staff. Innings, stamina. Bounces that one. 3 and 2.
Church has not hit a home run yet this year, but he's got legitimate pop.
Myers, who was an amateur boxer until he was a teenager, age 13 in Jacksonville, Florida, has been able to take a few punches today.
Well, and I think you got to be careful with this pitch right here.
Popped up. Carlos Lee into left field for the catch shallow, and all the runners have to hold. Well, you got a good result from that pitch. What did you think of the location of it?
He threw him a slider, and my thinking was that you just don't give in. Typically you think with an 8-1 lead, you don't want to be walking people, especially with the bases loaded. But I think it was a good idea not to give in and throw him a fastball there. I'd rather walk a run in an 8-1 game than let a guy with, the Church isn't Babe Ruth, but like I said, he's got legitimate power, and he knocks one in the seats. That changes the nature of the game. A walk makes it an 8-2 game, not that big of a deal.
Now Crosby's 1 for 2. Crosby won't expand on that pitch and takes ball 1. Crosby has a .435 on base average. Has not done a whole lot in his career with the bases loaded. But he's had a discerning eye this year. He's thrown 5 walks. Worked his way on base at a high percentage. Off the end of the bat, Michael Bourne into center field. That loops in front of him for a hit. Domet scoring. Here's the force out at second, though. And they get out number 2 on LaRoche. Well, Crosby drops one in front of Bourne, but Michael comes up with another outfield assist, his 2nd of the day and 5th of the young season.
That's a fielder's choice for Crosby. Does not get a base hit on this. LaRoche, he doesn't want to get doubled off like Iwamura did back in the first inning, so that's exactly what we were talking about. If you go too far, you're at risk of being doubled back off first. You don't go far enough, they're going to get you at second base. Not an easy play at all for the base runner.
No. Iwamura the batter now in an 8-2 game. Crosby getting RBI number 4 of the year. So it's 5 outfield assists for Michael Bourne in the first 18 games.
Keppinger take that throw?
Yes, he did.
8-4 here in the scorebook. Well, that's good. 8-4 for the putout. Paid for the telestrator for today. Got that covered.
Okay. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. Got to amortize that thing. A little tap to second base. Keppinger throws to first, and in the 6th inning, it's 1 run on 3 hits, a couple of men left. It's 8-2 Astros. Really off balance on this bouncer up the middle. Somehow he gloves it cleanly. Throws from a knee over to Pedro Feliz to get that force play at third.
A real slick play. We talked about at the time that the ideal play is second baseman to come back here to the mound. But that's a tough throw to make back to second base from that position. Just great presence of mind to get it out, and great concentration by Pedro to handle that throw and apply the tag.
It was a tag play. I said force play. There was a force on, but he had to tag him, and he did a good job of it. Now Brian Burris comes in, 13-20 in his major league career with a 6.08 ERA, 41 starts, 81 games. He was just sent down a few days ago, and now called back because of the injury situation on the Pirates. Michael Bourne has an 0-2 count. Brian Bass worked 2 innings and 1 hit and 3 runs. He had 3 walks and struck out 2.
The Astros put 3 runs up in the 3rd and 4th, and both of those innings started by walks to Michael Bourne. Gets everybody's attention, a lot of distractions, and he's able to create some things with his legs. Been a number of really good pitchers over the years. They get a guy like Bourne on, they just disregard him. And we can't throw him out anyway. I'm just going to get the hitter out. Maddox used to think that way. Mike Scott was that way.
Diving Crosby unable to stop that one. It's a single up the middle for Bourne, giving him a 5-game hitting streak.
I don't think Nolan paid a whole lot of attention to base runners.
You're right.
You go ahead and run while I'm striking these guys out. We'll have a race. We'll see how far around the bases you can get before I strike out the side. And he would usually win.
Nice level swing by Michael on that one.
Just keeps on rolling.
On base 3 more times today. On base average over 400 for the season. And going higher today. Keppinger's 0 for 2 with a walk. He scored a run. 7 hits for Houston. Keppinger looks at ball 1. Myers could be coming out after his 6 innings of work. Astros have 5 steals today. Their highest total since the 06 season in one game.
And it's still at a stage in the game where it's a comfortable lead with 6 runs, but there's nothing wrong with trying to steal bases. Bottom of the 6th inning, up 6. We saw, how close we were to this game really getting tight last inning. It's just tougher to get a read with his lefty on the mound.
Keppinger to center field. McCutchen in for the catch. 1 out. Well, the Astros have hit 7 home runs so far this season. Their opponents have hit 13. Hard to tell how much power the Astros will be able to really show this season. They have potential there with Lee, with Berkman, with Pence, Feliz. But if they can steal bases and help themselves to runs that way, then why not do it? And typically over the years, the big base stealing teams have had that philosophy. They're going to keep running if they have a 6-run lead in the 6th inning. If they typically do not have much power, they say, well, this is our offense. This is how we score. If you're a home run hitting team, you're not going to quit trying to hit home runs with an 8-2 lead. And the other team might come back at you.
Yeah, if you've got a 11-1 lead in the 8th inning with stealing bases, I could see the other dugout getting a little worked up over that. But 8-2 in the 6th, still time to put the pedal to the metal if the opportunity presents itself.
He looks a vulture.
But don't think about running across that mound.
Yeah.
So a story Jim Copp was quoted. He said back when he was pitching that Pete Rose used to do it to him all the time.
Did he?
Or try to do it. Kitty would kind of get real close and try to get right up next to Pete. If Pete ran by, try to kind of push back a little bit.
Bourne takes off. Fantastic jump. And now he might try to get to third. No, Doman is able to get to that ball after failing to catch it. Bourne could have had 2 stolen bases on 1 pitch.
Yeah, he goes on first move. He wasn't getting a very good read on Burris in his previous delivery, so I think he just said, I'm going first move. If he comes to first, I'll try to beat it that way. And that's the way to steal off a lefty who you can't read. Just go on their first move, and you either have to beat the catcher's throw or the first baseman's throw. I would have given him at least 50-50 of making it third there had he tried. But probably not a bad idea to play it safe.
3 steals today for Michael. That ties his best in a major league game. And it counts 2-1 on Carlos. Burris made sure he looked back at Michael. Michael stole 2nd and 3rd in the 4th innings and then scored.
Well, a right-handed hitter in the box with 1 out. This is a good time to think about stealing third base. You got Carlos up there now. He's got 2 hits today, and he's in a hitter's count. Sometimes it can be disconcerting for a hitter when that runner breaks. You might want to just stay put and let Carlos take a whack here at a 3-1 pitch.
All back, and it's 3-2 to Carlos. Bourne had 3 stolen bases last July 11th against Washington. 3 more today to tie his best as a major leaguer. He is now 8 for 9 this season. A gorgeous day. The Astros with a win today would be 5-7 at home after an 0-6 start on that first homestand. Fly ball off the end of the bat is popped into shallow left. Crosby backpedaling, giving way to Milledge, and Milledge now moves in further. 2 outs. Lance Berkman hit a milestone homer in the 2nd inning. That tied him for 5th place on the all-time switch hitting list. Reggie Smith, 314. Then he walked and he struck out.
We talk a lot about OPS, on base plus slugging.
Yes.
Reggie Smith's career OPS better than Hall of Famer Eddie Murray's.
Really?
Yeah. Surprise you?
Yeah.
Surprised me. Yeah.
It does. Last year in April, Lance hit 162. Born at second base with 2 outs. Ball 1 to him. Another right-handed at bat for Lance. Got very few in spring training, period, but not much at all going for Lance this spring as a right-handed batter. So he's mixed in a few this week at home. It's 1-1. It's really difficult for a switch hitter to maintain both sides evenly. There'll usually be periods in which maybe in one given week you might have 3 games against left-handers and then have a drought of a few weeks before he sees one. But with Lance, as he goes to strike 2 in the count, 1-2, pretty well given that with a game on the line, if the other manager has a quality left-hander, he's going to bring him in to turn Lance around. So it's important for him to be productive as a right-handed batter. And he thought he checked on that.
Yeah, he's had 2 or 3 of those this weekend.
Tom Hallian is the home plate umpire. St. Louis got a run in the first at San Francisco and leads 1-0 on a Pujols homer, number 7 for Albert. Burris gets a strikeout, and that's the 6th for Houston with no runs a hit and a man stranded. 8-2 Astros through 6.
Like a veteran in this one, you scatter 11 hits, but you only give up 2 runs.
11 hits and a walk. You know, he does a great job of avoiding big innings. Minimizes damage. The defense does a great job behind him.
All right, we're going to be talking about that and a whole lot more coming up after the game on Astros Live, guys.
Yeah, Kevin and Art, you've managed clubs that were good defensively, and it is so important when a pitcher's giving up that many hits to support them the way they've done today, isn't it?
Oh, they have. They've made some great plays, and he made a heck of a play himself on that ball back through the middle. Got the forced play at third. That could have been a big inning developing right there.
Thanks, Art. Kevin, we'll look forward to hearing more from you on the post-game show. Chris Sampson's in the game now as the 7th inning begins. And he gets strike 1 on McCutchen, who's 2 for 3. So for Brett Myers, 6 innings, 11 hits, 2 runs allowed, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Sampson is in 7 games with no decisions and a 1.17 ERA.
Bunch of games early, and then workload has backed off some, mostly due to the fact that the starting pitching has been so good. They've been able to go 6-7 innings quite often. Lighten the load on that bullpen line, taking over that 8th inning role, pitched well. It should really help Chris.
Yeah, it should. That one goes foul. Chris has not pitched since April 17th. A week ago yesterday at Chicago when he got his 3rd hold of the year. Gave up a run in his very first outing on opening day, and he has pitched scoreless baseball in 6 games since then. Tap to the left side. Feliz throws and not in time. McCutchen has his 3rd hit.
He hit one in the hole between 3rd and short last time that Manzella made a play on and was not able to throw him out. This time, similar direction. Feliz tries to make the play, and he's just too fast.
Boy,
Manzella did everything he could last time. Feliz does as well this time, but you're not going to get McCutchen on a ball like that.
Millage is 0 for 3. Double play depth for Manzella and Keppinger. And it's ball 1. Garrett Jones on deck. Art Howe, a native of Pittsburgh. He sure found a home in Houston, though. For all those years as a player and a skipper. And now one of our analysts. 1 ball, 1 strike. He had that. Talked about the injury last night to Jakubauskas. Art was beaned by Scott Sanderson many years ago. And we were talking last night about the courage required to come back from something like that. He played in a football type helmet with a broken jaw for weeks after that beaning.
Hey, he had that kind of face mask thing going on. Yeah. Art, he was an old quarterback. That's why.
That's right.
Could take a hit.
He was used to that helmet. 2 balls and a strike with speed at first. Pirates have stranded 8 runners. They have a dozen hits now. Bouncer goes to second. Keppinger with a toss. Manzella with a relay. Double play. Sampson's specialty.
In this sequence, McCutchen not running. The Astros take advantage.
Garrett Jones is 1 for 3. Manzella's looked pretty slick on this homestand at shortstop. Keppinger's a good second baseman. Sampson delivers ball 1. Washington shut out the Dodgers 1-0. Scott Olson won that one, beating Chad Billingsley. Matt Capps got his 8th save already. Two balls, no strikes. Arthur Rhodes got the win for Cincinnati, 5-4 over San Diego to stop the Padres' 8-game winning streak. Mike Adams was the loser. Cordero picked up a 7th save.
Arthur Rhodes, man, that guy been around forever.
Yes, he has.
They still have Stormy Weathers over there too.
I don't think so, but he just.
I'm going to check.
Okay, check on him.
I got to assume that he is. I mean, until I get definitive proof that Stormy has shut it down, I'm going to assume he's still going.
You expect to see his smiling face in here Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Until
he's not
something
on there
otherwise happens. Yeah, he's just one of those guys. It's just like spring every year. You expect to see him back.
That's right.
We're devastated if he's not in the game anymore.
This is killing me.
3 balls and a strike. Out into left center field, Michael Bourne on the warning track for the 3rd out. No runs, a hit. Nobody left. 7th inning stretch time finds the Astros in front of the Pirates 8-2 as the fans will take their stretch and sing God Bless America.
The Houston Astros and Veteran Outdoors are pleased to welcome to today's game 4 soldiers who have recently returned home from overseas deployment. Let's thank them now, as well as all of the brave men and women who defend our country every day, by joining Joe Prince for the singing of God Bless Him.
It is 8-2. The Astros lead it. They bat here in the home seventh inning with Hunter Pence leading it off. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI, and he's drawn a walk. Brian Burris gives up a ground ball hit. Hunter Pence aboard. And the Astros just keep banging away. That's hit number 8 for them. Pirates have a dozen hits. Pedro Feliz has a pair of singles. The second one drove in too. He's 2 for 3. J.R. Tolles is on deck. Atlanta and the Mets play tonight in New York. It'll be Tommy Hanson against Mike Pelfrey. Pelfrey 3-0 with a 0.86 ERA. Strike to Feliz. Tim Burdach's getting loose for the Astros. Tampa Bay and David Price shut out Toronto 6-0. Price is 3-1. His ERA is 2.20. Brandon Morrow took the loss. It's 0-2 to Feliz. 27,210 the paid attendance on this glorious Sunday afternoon. Game number 6 of the homestand. If the Astros win it, they will be 5-1. Cincinnati coming in for 3 next. Bounces, kicks off Doman's equipment, heads back to the screen. He's lodged on top of that wall. Hunter Pence's wild pitch to second base.
55-footer.
Yeah.
Much a catch can do about that
They're in scoring position with a 6-run Houston lead. It'll be Bud Norris and Aaron Harang Tuesday night at 7:05. Felipe Paulino and Mike Leake Wednesday night. Roy Oswalt, Bronson Arroyo Thursday night. Feliz is down on strike. Strikeout number 2 for Brian Burris. Our league leaders are brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, and it's the National League Central Division standings. They include the updated games that have been completed, and that is a win for Cincinnati over San Diego. The Reds are now 8-11. So top to bottom, there's 3 games separating the division. Reds won at 5-4. The Cubs have been playing well this afternoon, and they lead 12-2 in Milwaukee after 7. That's at second base there. It's Baltimore and Boston tied 4-4. They're in the bottom of the 9th at Boston. Miguel Tejada hit his 3rd home run for the Orioles.
Orioles in pursuit of their 3rd win. They are 2-16. They're in a run of 12 consecutive games against the Red Sox and the Yankees. Although the Red Sox, no great shakes these days. They're a couple of games below 500. True. Themselves.
Baltimore with a 111 winning percentage. The worst in the majors. And Dave Tremblay's name comes up often these days in terms of managers in trouble. He told the media the other day he was tired of covering for players, and he was going to tell it like it is from now on.
Tell it like it is. There, that man. Dave Tremblay.
2 balls and no strikes. That's a lot of frustration speaking. It's 3-0 to J.R. Tolles. Matt Albers took the loss yesterday for the Orioles. Former Astro. Seattle and the White Sox are tied 2-2. They've played 7 in Chicago. White Sox are 7-11. Strike makes it 3-1 to J.R. Tolles. He's not walked this season.
I hit one in the seats here.
Those folks came well prepared.
Slather on a little suntan lotion, wide brim cap. Make yourself a little Arnold Palmer.
Oh, yeah. Time call. Yeah, JR's a pull hitter. He can take advantage of the dimensions when he's home. Short porch in left field. He had the RBI double to left in the 2nd inning. Scoring Pedro Feliz. Pirates have a dozen hits, and they've all been singles. The Astros have mixed in a few extra base hits. Tolles does take his first walk of the year. He's on for the 3rd time today. That's 6 walks for Pirates pitching today.
You were speaking earlier about the Astros tandem behind the plate, Tolles and Quintero, and the numbers. And really in the last week, they've been a lot of good at-bats.
Jason Michaels comes out to the on-deck circle. Pitcher spot due up next as Manzella bats. Tommy's 0 for 3. Tim Burdack has been getting loose in the pen. Tommy looks at ball 1. Ryan Domit goes out.
Domit's got to be just out of gas from all the trips he's taken to the mound today.
Oh, boy, this last week has been rough on Pirate catchers.
See, if you were trying to speed up the game, I would just eliminate that right there.
Okay. Well, maybe the committee that was appointed by Bud Selig will recommend exactly that very thing. The committee is supposed to be carrying a lot of weight with the commission. Oh, another bat gets away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We have inferior pine tar this year. The last couple of years, it's been the big maple bat controversy. Now it's going to be what's going on with the pine tar, that stick they use.
Jose Guillen hit his 7th home run for Kansas City. The Royals lead Minnesota 4-2 after 7. Justin Morneau hit number 4 for the Twins, who are 13-5. Up the right field line, Manzella has extra bases into the corner. Scoring Pence, tolls to third. It's 9-2 on an RBI double. First double for Manzella. He joins the Houston hit parade. Third run batted in.
Yeah, he's been hitting the ball to right field with regularity, and the last couple of days with a little authority.
Yes. Jason Michaels, after Manzella's first career double, and the infield moving in, is the pinch hitter for Chris Sampson. Chris, in 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, no runs. He had no walks, no strikeouts, got a double play ball. J-Mike looks at strike 1. Jason's off to a nice month of April so far. 267, 2 homers, 5 runs batted in just 15 at bats. That gives him a lofty .733 slugging percentage. Ground ball goes foul, and it's 0-2 as a pinch hitter. He is 2 for 6 with a homer. J-Mike is the club leader in home runs with 2. Astros the only club in the majors that doesn't have a 3 home run hitter at this point. But it's early. Javier Lopez is at work in the Pirate bullpen. Fouled away, still 0-2. Now, who in the world would be able to recall statistics from April 25th when we get to September 1st? Seems meaningful now sometimes. Just a few games in the bag so far.
Yeah, they just tell the story of what has happened. I mean, it doesn't necessarily predict the future.
Yeah, the Titanic was on a pretty good course the first couple days of that voyage, too.
Working out pretty good.
Swing and a miss, and Michaels is down on strikes. And now we know Patty Smith is waiting. Patty?
Patty is waiting. Are you traveling this season? Well, take the Astros with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Astros game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, because baseball is everywhere, guys.
Yes, it is. It was even with Greg Lucas in Missouri last night, Patty, as he was following the progress of the Astros game. Michael Bourne has been on 3 times, 2 walks and a single. Ball 1. Greg was following one of the network services on the internet, and following play-by-play. He did not have the MLB TV package because he's always at the ballpark.
Yes, I was paying close attention.
Tell us about that, Greg.
Well, I was also some of the details I needed. I went to Twitter. You can do that with our Twitter, but last night I went to Allison Footer. She gave me a little detail on the ball hit up the middle and the injury, but I was right with you right up to the last pitch. I know everything that happened. I like this one too.
So the description of Lance Berkman's line drive off the head of Chris Jakubauskas was what?
It said single up the middle, and then there was a thing that said injury delay, and of course the first thing that came to my mind was Lance. So I quickly went over to Twitter, and Allison had the answer.
Very good.
The ironic thing is that ball hit Chris so hard, it bounced back over the catcher's head. If Carmel had caught that ball, Lance would have been out.
Yeah.
And that would have probably come out as saying pop out to the catcher.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Sometimes the details are missing.
Yeah. Nothing like watching the game. That's the 3rd walk for Michael Bourne.
Once again, before I go, I want to thank the folks that have emailed. I've tried to answer. I've forwarded some on to JD and Brownie, and we'll talk about some of them during various games, depending on what the questions are. But it's always open. Just go to the website and click on the little thing icon. That's the right word, Patty. Fan mail. Real simple. We'll talk to you all season long. Guys.
Thank you. That's ball 1 to Keppinger. Jeff is 0 for 3 with a walk. Has scored a run. He'd love to join in this hit parade. Starting 8 all have hits. Outside the pitcher's spot. Brett Myers ripped a ball in the 5th inning, and it took an excellent catch by Jones to keep him off the board for a hit. Keppinger is hitting .519 with the bases loaded. That is ridiculous.
It's like Pat Tabler.
That's true. Yeah, we ran across Pat when the Toronto Blue Jays were here for the exhibition games prior to the start of the regular season. Yeah, he was a tremendous bases loaded hitter. Strike, and it's 3-1 to Jeff Keppinger. The Astros as a team were 2 for 6 with the bases loaded coming into this game today.
Keppinger usually, tries to hit the ball up the middle, uses the other way quite well. You couldn't blame him if he tried to yank one here.
Instead, he takes a walk to force in a run and make it 10-2.
Anything to swing at. Boy, walks really hurting the Pirates here this afternoon. You drive a manager and a pitching coach nuts on the walks, especially when you're walking Michael Bourne.
That's 8 walks for the Pirates. John Russell comes out. Looks like a double switch.
That's probably more walks than the Astros had in their first 10 ball games.
Yeah, I think you're right. We could check on that, but I believe you're right. See who's running out to right field with Garrett Jones coming in. It's John Rayner in right. We'll get a new pitcher with a score 10-2. Back in a moment.
That's a Pirate fan, too, by the way. At least he's got a Steeler jersey on, so I'm assuming he's a Pirate fan.
John Rayner's the right fielder in a double switch. Batting in the 8th spot. Garrett Jones leaving the game, and Javier Lopez goes into the cleanup spot with those numbers.
Javier Lopez, the veteran. Off to a pretty good start here with that ERA 3.00.
Ball 1 to Carlos Lee, batting 3rd today. Has a 2-run triple and a single, going 2 for 4 off a day off. Has 14 grand slams. Manny Ramirez is the active leader with 21. Lopez worked 2/3 of an inning last night. Did not give up a hit or a run. It's a 1-1 count. Pirate relievers had to be called upon with 2 outs in the 1st inning last night with an injury to the starting pitcher, Jakubowskis. It's 2-1. Lopez was among the 5 relievers who worked in that game. DJ Carrasco worked 2 2/3. Jack Cashner worked a couple of innings. Just to the point that the manager wants to keep some guys for the next game, of course. Rock to center field. McCutcheon catches it. And in the 7th inning, the Astros parade 8 hitters to the plate. They put up another 2-spot. On 2 hits, they leave 3, and their lead is 10-2. Center point energy. What do you have?
Well, we have the Astros having another big day offensively after last night. 10 runs here today, 6 stolen bases, 9 hits. Bourne's been running crazy all over the bases. 7 of 9 starters with at least 1 RBI. Just for the second day in a row, just a good, solid all-around performance. Good defense. Myers was very good. Carlos starting to swing it well. A lot of positives coming out of this weekend, out of this whole homestand so far.
Could be 7 wins in the last 8 for the Astros. Jeff Keppinger at second base, getting ready for Tim Burdak's first pitch. He's pitcher number 3. Ryan Domet, the switch hitter, batting right against Burdak. He is 2 for 2 with a walk in this game. Tim delivers ball 1 after a good 7th inning by Chris Sampson. Burdak also, like Sampson, has not pitched in a while. Last Sunday was his last trip to the mound. He got a win in the 10-inning game at Chicago, 3-2 with a hitless inning. Came in with the score tied 2-2 in the 9th inning. Survived a couple of walks and hit the winner's circle for the first time in 2010. Astros bullpen has a string of 12 scoreless innings in a row. Manzella takes care of Domet, 1 out. And up until last night, when the Pirates finally broke the string, the Astros relievers had retired 22 straight batters. Burdak's 1-0 with a 2.84 ERA.
And the entire pen really pitching well, and I think a lot of it is because the starting pitching has been so good. That allows Brad Mills to use the pen in the right situations. Save guys, give guys a couple days off here and there. Put players in the best possible matchup situations.
Jeff Clement looks at ball 1. He has a single in 3 trips. Brad Arnsberg, the new pitching coach, really a busy guy. We hardly ever see him. Most pitching coaches are up to their ears, though, in business, and hitting coaches, too. Those guys spend a lot of hours at the ballpark.
Pitching coach a lot of time out in the bullpen or back in the video room. The hitting coach is back in the cage. There's always guys looking to work on their swing. Putting them on the proverbial couch for a little psychological work, just kind of getting in their heads a little bit.
Burdak, the left-hander in the bullpen. which has now been bolstered by the return today of Sammy Hervasio from the disabled list. Wilton Lopez went back to AAA Round Rock. Crank to center field. Bourne is heading back. A long run for Michael up on Towles Hill. He watches that one soar a long way. Takes the carom and gets it back in on a long double by Clement. He rocked that ball.
Strong. Look at Michael. That's incredulous. I'm guessing that's the farthest ball he's ever hit that he didn't get to jog around the bases on.
Yeah.
Because that landed well up that hill. Yeah, he thinks he got every last bit of that one. Hit the wall.
It did.
That's a 435-foot hang with him. Jesus.
So the Pirates get their first extra base hit.
He's out there talking to Keppinger. Got to be kidding me.
Andy LaRoche is 3 for 3 with an RBI. There's ball one. Yeah, how could that not be a home run? Clement has to be asking himself right now. After hitting a bolt. And that wind didn't help him any. Roche looks at it. It's 2 balls, no strikes. It's a 13-hit day for the Buccos, and they trail 10-2. This is their most hits in a game this year. They had 12 at Arizona April 11th. 2 balls, 1 strike with John Rayner on deck.
Brownie, where were you in 1977?
1977 in Cincinnati. How about you?
We're doing the game?
Probably.
George Foster had 7 RBIs.
Oh, no, we weren't doing that game.
23-9 win over the Braves.
Ooh. 7. That's right. Foul back. He was the MVP the next year.
This is also the anniversary of Rick Monday rescuing the American flag out there in the outfield at Dodger Stadium back when he was with the Cubs.
Well, that was certainly one of those patriotic acts. And there was another one the other night by Kevin Kennedy, the Tampa Bay broadcaster, the would-be terrorist on an airplane. And Kevin Kennedy and 6 or 7 other people took him down as he was threatening to do something harmful to that airplane.
Didn't it turn out that he was just kind of a guy kind of freaking out? I mean, he wasn't armed or anything like that, right?
I never heard.
Yeah, I think he was just kind of losing it.
Okay.
But spouting off nonetheless.
But who knew?
Making threats, yeah.
Line shot left field. That's in for a hit. It's charged by Carlos Lee. Tony Beasley wants to get a runner home, and he's going to do it. Clement scoring on the single by LaRoche. LaRoche with a big 4 for 4 game has driven in 2, and it's 10-3.
Yeah, we'll have to put Andy LaRoche in the 3-star selection. We'll make him the 3rd star. He's had a heck of a day. And we appreciate Tony Beasley waving Clement home there.
Yeah. Three runs on 14 hits for the Buccos. Big day for LaRoche, who had to miss a week with back spasms. Rayner takes strike 1, the Rule 5 draft choice outfielder who came in the double switch. He's 2 for 9 with the Buccos, looking for his first major league RBI. Rayner was a Florida Marlin until December when the Pirates took him into Rule 5. No balls, 2 strikes. He was at New Orleans last year with a .257 average, 6 homers, 36 runs batted in. A native of Memphis who went to UNC Wilmington. He can run. He had 19 steals and 27 tries last year. With a Rule 5 guy, that speed is a factor. There's strike 3. 2 outs. Tom Hallion put everything into that strike 3 call.
Yeah, Tom, it gives you 9 solid innings back there behind the plate.
What's that?
Yeah.
He's not quitting.
He's not going to get cheated.
Bobby Crosby's next. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. Strike for Tim Burdack.
On this date in 1904, Jack Chesbrough picked up his first win. He went on to win 41 games that year. It's an American League record.
Take that, Roy Halladay.
Yeah. Try to chase Big Jack down.
41 wins.
Made 55 starts, was 41-12 with a 1.82 ERA at 48 complete games through 454 2/3 innings.
It's ridiculous.
This ball was made out of electrician's tape and sawdust.
Yeah. That was back when they used one baseball the entire game. It was so dark by the 5th inning, nobody could see it.
It's just a different era.
2 balls and a strike.
Top home run hitter in the American League was Harry Davis. He had 10 for Philadelphia. 10.
2-2.
The Cleveland Club allowed 10 home runs that year.
Oh. Octavio Dotel's warming up in the Pirate bullpen. Tap to shortstop. Manzella charging and throwing to Berkman. In the 8th inning, the Pirates get a run on 2 hits. They strand a man, and it's 10-3 Houston. Fifth place, Brett Myers with a good play and a sharp comebacker. Gets it to Feliz for the tag at third. Carlos Lee. It's a long 2-run triple in the 4th inning, and the Astros got 3 runs. Carlos has had a couple of hits today. He's fanned by Bud Norris, who will be up Tuesday night against Cincinnati. Now Lance Berkman hit a ground ball, and he hit that one. He's limping. I don't know if he hit it off his foot or what happened, but that would have made it foul. And the Pirates with the shortstop Crosby throwing to first. Got him out, so we'll have to check on Lance with Brian Moeller warming up in the bullpen. That's out number 1 here in the home 8th inning.
Yeah, something bit him.
Jeff Fulcino's also getting loose. Hunter Pence is the batter.
Well, we showed you that video summary. One thing we didn't show you, because it's not anything you really pay much attention to, but he beat the rap on that double play back in the 3rd inning. If not, the Astros don't score in that frame. This might be a different ball game.
Might be. All the hitting the Pirates have done. 1-1. Yeah, that was a close call at first, but Hunter would have been the final out of the inning had they gotten him on the double play. And the Astros did score 3. 2 balls, 1 strike.
One came home on that play, and then 2 more on Feliz's base hit that followed.
Lance might be coming out for the 9th inning. We'll wait and see if he takes his position at first or not. Astros with a 10-3 lead right now would have the luxury of replacing him if they so chose. 3-1. Up the middle and into center field. Hunter Pence gets hit number 2 of the day after 2 last night. He's not going to want that day off tomorrow.
Pez trying to make a play behind his back. Almost got it.
Yeah. He almost did.
A little extra pace on those ground balls off the bat of Hunter Pence.
That's 10 runs on 10 hits for the Astros. Pedro Feliz has 2 of those hits, 2 runs batted in. The Astros now have consecutive games in double figures in the hit column. They had 13 last night for their high for this season. White Sox beat Seattle 3-2. John Dank's going to 3-0. It's 1-1. Florida and Colorado about to get started out at Coors Field. Oakland leads Cleveland 3-0 after 3. Bouncer to short. Crosby to second and then on to first for a double play to end the 8th inning with a score 10-3 Astros. By the Progressive Insurance Group and by Southwest Airlines. Corey Sullivan's the new left fielder now. Carlos Lee coming out of this game, which is a 10-3 ball game. The Astros leading it. And it's Jeff Blum at first base for Lance Berkman, who was not running well coming out of the box on that ground out in the last inning. The new pitcher is Jeff Fulcino. Let's look at the Berkman ground ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but obviously something left leg bugging him.
Day off coming tomorrow. Brad Mills telling home plate umpire Tom Hallian about the changes in his lineup, including Fulcino. Fulcino worked on Thursday against Florida, and he pitched scoreless baseball for an inning and a third. His ERA is 9 with no decisions.
And most of that coming in one bad appearance. He allowed 4 earned runs. Other than that, he has an ERA of $1.93.
Tim Burdick in one inning allowed 2 hits, 1 run with no walks, 1 strikeout. Iwamura's the batter. Tommy Manzella. It's a good play, 1 out. McCutchen has 3 hits. 3 for 4. Andy LaRoche 4 for 4. Pirates have out-hit the Astros 14-10. Fulcino delivers ball 1. Phillies lead 2-0 at Arizona, middle of the 4th inning with Kyle Kendrick on the hill. He got home run support from Greg Dobbs, his first. It's 1-1.
You ever been to the ballpark in Charleston, Brian?
No.
Home of the River Dogs of the South Atlantic League?
No, have you?
No, but they've got some interesting hot dogs on the menu there.
What are they doing?
They've got the River Dog, which features coleslaw and pickled okra. And then they've got the Home Wrecker with coleslaw, pickled okra, sauerkraut, and hot peppers surrounding a half-pound dog.
That is a home wrecker.
You're on your own there, pal. And then they've got the Pickle Dog, which is a large, hollowed-out dill pickle stuffed with a hot dog and coleslaw. No bun required.
That sounds like a monster.
That sounds gross.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very high on a lot of folks' list of foods. That's an ancient ballpark, isn't it, in Charleston?
I don't know.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
I never played in the South Atlantic League.
Joel Hanrahan's warming up for the Pirates, just getting in a little throwing. Cotton Candy. Bouncer shortstop, Manzella. 2 outs.
He knew he had to hurry.
Yeah.
Came hard, unloaded in a hurry.
He sure did.
Jeff Blum celebrates a birthday tomorrow.
What number is that?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll check.
35 or 6 sound right?
36 maybe. No, 37.
37.
Jeff's family's in town. That should be a good day to celebrate. Lastings Milledge is 0 for 4. The Astros on the verge of their first series sweep of the season. And a 5-1 start to this homestand. There's strike 1. It began as they won 2 of 3 in Chicago. So now, carrying things over, they will have 7 wins in their last 8 games, 8 of their last 10. And they'll be back to 8-10, just 2 games under 500 with a win today. Oh, 2.
It's the 9th time already this year that the Pirates have given up 8 or more runs in a ball game.
Ooh. Cardinals are leading 2-0 at San Francisco in the 4th. A really nice Sunday afternoon at the ballpark for these fans. $27,210, the paid attendance. Tuesdays in the park coming up. Double play Tuesday. All kinds of promotions for that opener of the Cincinnati series starting Tuesday night. Jason Jaramillo's in the on-deck circle, switching and catcher for the Buccos. He's not going to bat. That's the end of this ball game with Fulcino getting the Buccos 1-2-3 in the 9th. Brett Myers gets his first win as an Astro and notches his 1,000th strikeout along the way. Lance Berkman hits his first home run of the season. And the Astros sweep the series with a 10-3 win today.